So today, just we are going to see what is AWS Control Tower. So AWS is introducing a lot of new services. So like that, the Control Tower, which was introduced 3 months back, I think they released a beta version for 5 months back, and then they released their production version of Control Tower 3 months back. Since it's very new, need to just we thought of bring this into all audience. Okay, so let us take them. What is Control Tower and where we can use. As the name itself says, Control Tower, it's a very powerful service, which is introduced by AWS. Let's see why we use Control Tower and when we can go for a Control Tower. And end of the session, we will have a short demo of a Control Tower. Okay. I can say it's a partial demo. It's not a fully functional demo, because when you said fully functional, to set up a Control Tower itself, it will take 60 minutes. Okay, so we'll discuss more while doing the practicals. Uh, so if you have any questions meantime, okay, always you can interact, or maybe you can raise your hands on this uh, WebEx. Okay, so you can maybe we have an end of the session. For 10 minutes, we will have a Q&A session there. You can raise all your queries. Okay, let's say Control Tower, right? So what is a Control Tower? So simple, I can say Control Tower is a service. It's used to create a landing zone in a few clicks. So what is a landing zone? So when you say Control Tower, of course, clearly said it's a one line. So Control Tower is nothing, just to create a landing zone. Okay, what is a landing zone? Why we need a landing zone? First, we will see what is it. Let's say in earlier days, right? Normally, how the client will go. Let's say uh, normally client will go with one VPC, sorry, one AWS account, and they start with one VPC. Within a VPC, they will get multiple subnets for each and every application. Maybe production for one subnet, dev for other subnet, and later just it's transformed to multi VPCs. So in one account, client will create multiple VPCs, one VPC for production, one VPC for a dev, one VPC for QA, like that. So now it's transformed to multi AWS account structure, right? So very recently, maybe 1 year back, right? When we try to set up multiple accounts, of course, you can create multiple accounts and multiple VPCs. So it's not a matter, right? It's a matter of time. You can just spin up multi accounts, multi VPCs. The real challenge come into picture when you move into operational. Let's say in terms of network connectivity. Hey, I think whoever is go on mute. Let me mute everyone. Okay. If you have any question, maybe you can unmute and ask me a question. Okay. Fine. So that will be the problem we will get, right? Always, in terms of, as I said, that if you have multiple accounts, I have a real challenge in terms of sharing the network. Suppose if you are getting a direct connect from your data center to AWS, how can I share the direct connect with multiple VPCs, multiple accounts? And second, IAM access. So should I create IAM users for each and every account? So how do I my data? Let's say I want to move my data from dev to production account. How do I move it? So there will be a lot of challenges, right? Next, billing. So then they will get multiple billing. So I need to get consolidated billing. So that's where, to address all those things, AWS brought a lot of services, org, consolidated billing, cost explorer. They try to bring so many things, right? So now, so landing zone is nothing but a group of AWS account, okay, which is designed based on the AWS best practices. So that's what we call as a landing zone. So yeah, 6 months back, even I was just setting up a landing zone manually because there was no control over that time. We took around 4 weeks just to set up a landing zone. It's come to now 1 month, right? Just to base setup, it took 1 month for us. Why? Because we need to set up a lot of accounts we need to and the interconnectivity between those accounts. So that will be a very difficult task. Okay. Now control tower, when you use a control tower, you can just few clicks, your landing zone will be ready. That too with the best practice, right? So, but when you create manually, there are a lot of chances for a manual error. But now it's a error prone, right? So, I mean, error free landing zone you are creating as per AWS best practices. Okay, so what is what does a landing zone do? So a part of a landing zone, it create a organization. So everyone knows about what is AWS organization, right? To get consolidated building or to get a centralized account, centralized access, we used to create a organization, right? So what landing zone will, while creating a landing zone, it will create an organization, AWS organization. Under a organization, you will have multiple accounts. Okay, one. And apart from that, it do create a SSO, single sign-on for all accounts. So you no need to create IAM user for each and every account. Everything will be controlled from your master account. So you no need to create IAM user on each and every account. You can manage, add, delete, modify everything from one account. So single sign-on. And you can connect the single sign-on to your on-prem AD server too. So there will be a single, one level of authentication. No need to have multiple type of authentication. Right? The fourth one, it set restrictions to enforce the policies. So control tower not only just creating that account, okay, multiple accounts, parallelly it will create some rules and policies as well. Suppose I don't want my security group, right, contains any open port to world. Let's say assume that you create a Linux server, and if any one of the server port, right, is SSH is open to world, that's it. Your server will be hacked by very easy, right? Even in terms of Windows, if it's RDP, if RDP is open to world, so of course hackers can easily log in. They can hack your server. From the server they can easily reach out to other instances, right? So it won't allow to open the ports to world anywhere. I mean, for SSH and RDP. Okay. And what about the compliance, right? So of course, if you make any small S3 bucket open to world, or maybe any other policy, right? If you're trying to overwrite any default policies, it won't allow you to do that. So those baseline security we will discuss in later, though. Let discuss in detail later. Okay. So the small restriction, everything, the minimum level of meeting to compliance and baseline security already they created using the control tower. And apart from that, it to control access to resource, right? Because as I said, right, they created multiple roles for administrator, for a auditor, for a monitoring. So already they itself they created multiple roles. So if you want to just manage the infra, the existing roles are enough. Okay, you can use it. And sixth one, it says, right, so how they achieved all those things, right? As I said, it's creating multiple accounts. What is it? They're creating a CloudFormation templates. Whenever you create a new account or new user, it will just AWS created the CloudFormation templates and just deploying it. Okay, so you can use those templates as well for reusable purpose. And they have a centralized log. Of course, whatever your all AWS CloudTrail, AWS config logs will be logged in a centralized place where so in a S3 bucket, of course, obviously it will go to S3 bucket, all the logs. So even if you have multiple accounts, all accounts will be stored in a centralized account. So that will be very useful for you. Suppose if you go for a Splunk or log analyzer or any SIEM tools, right, or any logging tools, you can just get from one account. It's enough. And the centralized logging account, right? So no one can delete it except your master account user. So no users will have access to the centralized logging. So your logs will be very safe and no one can modify. Even though if someone try to modify, it will throw alert saying that hey, this one so user is trying to modify the logs or delete the logs. Next, preventing configuration changes using service control policies. So by default, right, as I said, if you create an org, what we will do, we will put some policies in a service control policy, which will apply for all their child accounts, right? So by default, control tower is creating some policies, service control policies, to prevent the conflict changes. Suppose if someone tried to change your security group, what you created, right? Maybe, as I said, control tower itself creates some security groups, create some config rules, okay, to maintain to meet the complaints. If you try to change the configuration of those, it won't allow. Okay, it will just deny. You won't get access to modify it. However, even the master user also won't get access to modify the service control policies, which is created by the control tower. And top of that, of course, you can add your own service control policies on the org level. So, and they do have a few config rules that are continuously detecting. I said, if someone opened a S3 bucket to world, right? So if you make a S3 bucket, so public, the config rules will, if there is, whenever there is a configuration changes, the config rule will automatically run and show it in the compliance dashboard. Hey, meaning this S3 bucket is not meet the compliance. So those rules were already created by a control tower. And the best part is everything you can see in a single dashboard. That's one dashboard. So earlier, if you have 10 accounts, I need to log into each and every account. Okay, and then I need to just check. But here, even though you have 100 accounts, and don't to bother about a single dashboard, will get you everything. If you go with any top level management, right, they will always looking for a one dashboard. So here you can see a one dashboard to be the compliance of all your AWS accounts. That too in a real time. So that'll be the great feature in a landing zone created by a control tower. So like now what is the landing zone? So landing zone is a base setup where just you play around. So control tower will help you to set up the landing zone in a faster manner. Okay. Now we see what is the landing zone, right? Now we see what is a control tower. What are the prerequisites? So what are the I mean, what's the parts? What are the services which is part of the control tower? So when you say control tower, if you want to create a control tower, it should initiate from a master account. So wherever you are, let's say I log into ABC account. If you initiate the control tower, that will become the master account. Okay, so before start control tower, you have to think of it. Okay, which account I need to start. Okay, it should be better. You will start from a fresh account. And when you create a control tower, as I said, that it's maximum 4 or 5 clicks. Click, that's it. It will create. Thing is, when you click, right, 4 or 5 clicks, after that, it will take 60 minutes to create. So we cannot do it right now. Maybe just for the sake of time, I already created the control tower. Now I'll show you the components of the control tower. Okay, the different components. We'll have a walkthrough it. So when you click that control tower, by default, it will create 2 OUs. I mean, in organization, right, we call it as a OU, organization unit, right? It will create two organization. One is core and another one is a custom. So the core OU contained the control tower accounts, because control tower, to manage the entire setup, control tower itself will create 3 accounts. Okay, those accounts, the control tower manager accounts, will be listed under core OU. And if you are creating your own account, right, let's say I'm creating for account for a business one, another account for business two, those will be created under custom. And you do not have any control over core OU. You will have a control over only on the custom OU. Okay, right. And when you create assume that, right, when I initiated the control tower from my ABC account, then the ABC will become the master account, right? So from the master account is full for you to access all managed accounts. From the master account, you can log into any account. So what are the things in master account? Okay, so master account, it has the landing zone configuration. So how many accounts I have? What are the rules I have? So that will be stored in a S3 bucket. Okay, so those will be in a master account, but you cannot modify anything in the master account. So all account configuration stack sets, service control policy. When you say stack sets, all your cloud formation templates, right? I mean, most of the cloud formation templates, it's a basic for a key templates for a control tower, and all service control policies will be in a control tower, and of course single sign on configuration. So what are the accounts part of the SSO? Those will be in a master account. So the second key account is a shared services account. When you say shared service account, normally it will contains shared services. Assume that I have a AD or I have a SharePoint. You can keep all those servers in a shared service account, because in the shared services account, AWS created by default a shared VPC. Okay, so when you say shared VPC, those servers in the shared VPC can be shared across many accounts, and this is the default account for your SSO integration. So if you create any new account using control tower, that will automatically tie up with this shared service account that be integrated. Okay, so that's what they said, automatically paid with the new AWS account, because your shared service like AD or SharePoint, though, or any file servers, right? Those need access to all the new accounts. So this will get automatically, it will create a VPC peering between two accounts. And the second account, what it will create is a log archive account. As I said, right, all the logs, if you have multiple accounts, no issues, all the CloudTrail logs, all the cloud config logs will be stored in an S3 bucket, which is in the log archive account. Okay, so if someone come for audit, right, you don't need to give access to all other accounts. You can just give the auditor to access to this account. Is enough. Most of the cases, right? But some cases, sometimes auditors may need I want to access to all other accounts too. I want to check really whether you are following the compliance or not, something, right? So that's why they created one more account called security account. Security account contains one administrator role and an auditor role. So auditor role is nothing but a read-only role where they will get access to all accounts, read-only access to all accounts. Whenever if you're creating new account, they'll be come under security account automatically. Okay, so when the auditor or security team comes and ask you, hey, so give me some access, you no need to run on, no need to create separate role for it. It's already created by control tower. So it will be for a for managing the entire thing, it will be very easy for you to manage. So just for the sake, this is our control tower. Sorry, when you're using a control tower will create a as I said, three accounts. It will create three accounts, right? So this is a sample architecture of a landing zone. So when you say landing zone, you just forget about account 1, account 3, account 1, account 2, and account 3. Just for the sake, I added here. You just see only the master account, the shared services account, log archive, and security account. If you see the master account, right? See, we have a code pipeline to deploy whatever the templates, right, to new accounts. S3 will have all your files, your templates, everything. Organization to manage your all the accounts. So under organization, it will create two OUs, custom OU and core OU. If you see core OU will have the shared services account, log archive account, and security account. But for a custom OU, under custom OU, you created, right? Whenever you create any account, that will be automatically come under custom. Okay, so the parameter store, and then account basically will have all the policies and the secrets, everything will be stored in these two. Of course, the service catalog. In service catalog, I think hope all of you know about AWS service catalog. Okay, here you can create your own service with a predefined service, right? When you go for a hotel, right, you have a menu card. So this is a menu which they are going to separate for a ease of selecting, choosing the item. Same thing like in service catalog, you can create or define your own service, and people just come and click. Let's say assume that in service catalog you can create like a web server with 2 CPU, web server with 16 CPU, maybe a DB server with 8 CPU. Like that you can create. When you click in background, it will automatically run the respective template and deploy the server. So something like this, Amazon has created a service catalog just to launch a new account. Okay. Just please remember, control tower is only creating the infra, not the servers. Okay. So service catalog will create only an account, new account. That's it. But if you want to add more services, of course, you can add your own services into service catalog. So maybe I thought of, have a small pause here. Maybe I think there are a lot of questions came in. No, okay. So maybe have any queries? Maybe let me unmute everyone. Okay. If you have any queries, maybe you can just ask me. Maybe you can unmute and you can ask me any queries we have. So no queries? Okay.
No queries, sir.
Fine. Let me go to the next.
Hey Ram, or hey Suresh, this is Kishore here.
Yeah, tell me, this is
Can I
Ram
go
only.
ahead and ask a question?
Yeah, Kishore.
Could you please go back to the previous slide?
Yes.
Yeah. So earlier, like I have worked on like organizations, like to centralize managed with like all other AWS accounts in a single place. So my direct question is like, how does it like a different control tower is a different from like OU organization accounts?
Okay. Okay. See, to manage everything, of course, OE is very important, right? So
Mhm.
control tower is creating an organization. Thing is, it's creating a two organization. Okay. So within the organization cannot control. See, control tower is integrating multiple AWS services and creating a one service. So assume that if you want to set up on your own, right? First, I need to create a mass. I need to create all the accounts on my own. I need to create a custom OU. I need to bring all my accounts into it, right? Just they automated it. That's it. Still here also they are creating OUs, okay? And they what they did to creating account, they make it as a what? So let's assume that no, you create your let's assume that you are not using any control tower, and you are creating account on your own. Okay, assume that you are a very expert in AWS, so you are creating the accounts as per the AWS best practices. If someone comes tomorrow, he will create the account on his own, right? You are not sure that he will follow the best practices. So what will happen in the same uh, company organization? There will be a multiple accounts and multiple baselines. You cannot. No one can ensure that the account is up to the AWS best practices. And whenever once audit comes, then you will come to know that it's not up to the best practices, right? So using control tower, you are implementing AWS best practices while creating the account itself. So we're ensuring that, okay, my AWS account is as meeting the best practices, meeting the compliance.
Okay. In the sense like a AWS owner has the privileges to create a number of accounts automatically.
Okay, no, they will create 3 accounts only as a part of
Okay.
control tower. But those will be for entirely to manage the control tower. That's it.
Okay.
If you want to
So
create account, you can create on your own. How many accounts you want, you can create one by one. I'll show you
okay.
in the end of the session.
Yeah, makes sense. Like my question is like, for example, like right now, like I have one more account. Maybe like it is not following like as standards and others. So like rather than like the customer creates the account, like is there a way like can we automatically create AWS accounts and give the permission to them? Is it like that, or like it is not at all related to this one?
Okay, so of course, yes, you can create the account and you can share permission to the client. Yes, of course. The only thing
Okay.
is you cannot use the existing account.
Thanks,
Existing
Suresh.
account
Yeah.
you can add under org. Okay, you can add under the org manually, but it won't reflect in the control tower dashboard.
Okay. Thanks, Suresh. Much appreciated.
So, right. So let me go to the next screen. Right. So when you say account baseline, right? So what it will do, what control tower do, right? So automatically it enable cloud trial for all the accounts. Okay, and config, it will create a config rules to monitor the EBS encryption, S3 encryption, ODS encryption. Suppose if you are missing anything, right, or if you disable anything, it will trigger a alert. So when you create manually, right, there are chances you may miss any one of this. And parallelly, it will create IAM users and cross account roles, so that if you are a part of master account, automatically you will get access to all the child accounts. So in a real time, when you create on your own, right? When you suppose if you are creating your account on your own, I need to create multiple roles. Assume that already I have 5 child accounts. I need to create 5 roles in each and every account, and then I need to map it. So here everything is automated. So Amazon makes our job easier. That's it. Nothing as a new features. They integrate all the new features and bring it as a new service. And when in terms of VPC, they will delete all the default VPCs on all accounts on all regions. Okay, there will be no default VPC exists when you create account using control tower and deploy AVM. AVM is something about the account vending machine that we will see it in real time. Okay, what is it? So notification by default, they will configure the notification for CloudWatch, alarm, events, root account login. As usual, normal, right? Root account login, we need MFA enable, console sign in failures. So those will be by default. They will create alarms. You will get alerts through SNS, and they enable guard duty for all accounts, member accounts. Okay. So you know about the specialty of guard duty, right? It's a AI. It's an inbuilt AI with a security tool. Okay. So you will get your accounts will be better safeguarded. So control tower limitation as of now is available for only 4 regions, and we'll create maximum. We can create maximum 2 private subnets, not more than that by default, and it will create only one VPC. You can use it only for a new account. You cannot use it for existing accounts. And Amazon already they created some 20 rules. Okay, so guardrail rules we call it as. It's nothing but a policies. So you cannot add or customize. You forced to use those 20 rules. You cannot say I don't want to use this rule. No, there is no choices as of today. And they'll have a so 17 preventive and 2 detective guardrails. Preventive is where that won't allow you to change. Detective is it will allow you to change, but it will give you an alert when you change it. Okay, so the benefits, control tower benefits is right. So landing zone, you can create a landing zone in 60 minutes within 1 hour, and there is no cost involved. Maybe when you're creating control tower, it may cost you around $5 to $10 because it will configure every AWS trial and the AWS config, right? So config rules will be a bit costly. So that's why you will get a bill around $5 to $10 for the master account. So you can use only all the new accounts, all are as per meeting the AWS best practices. So there already you have a predefined preventive rules and detective rules, which to meet the AWS compliance. So let me just jump into a demo. Okay, I think we're running out of time. So let me just jump into a demo. Let me log into a browser. So just say log into the my account. Okay, I'll just directly move to control tower. So this is a control tower dashboard. See, now it's showing that your landing zone is available. So it created 2 organization units, one for your shared account, one for accounts that will be provisioned by your users, 2 OUs, as I said, right, custom and core. You will see it here in the down, right? So 2 organizational units, 3 shared accounts apart from master account, right? So they have a, why is it 4 accounts? Already I created one account manually, so it shows it 4 accounts. Native Cloud Directory, nothing but it's a simple AD. Earlier there was a simple AD, right? So the simple AD they created with a single sign-on SSO, and then 17 preventive guardrails and 2 detective guardrails. Okay, so this is a dashboard. You can see it, right? So how many guardrails we created, detective, preventive, how many accounts. So when you click here, organizational units, you'll be able to see I have a core and custom 2 OUs. Okay, so both the status you can see, right? Both are compliant. When you say accounts, how many accounts I have? So audit account, log archive. So master account is of course this is my master account, right? What I created. So this is account which I created newly. Okay, so audit and log archive. Those are accounts created by the control tower. Those you can see the owner, right? So you don't have any access. I mean any control over account which is created by the control tower. Okay. So if you see the here, right, OU, this audit and log account part of a OU, core OU. The account created by me is a part of a custom OU. Okay, the organization unit. So how many organizational units? You can see it here. So core and custom, 2 OUs. So what is a guardrail? As I said, right, guardrail is nothing but a set of policies created by Amazon. See, disallow deletion of log archive. So no one can delete your logs. So it won't allow you. That's what the behavior is called as a preventive. When you say detective, disallow public. So you can make a public, you can make a log archive to a public, but it will throw alerts. That's what's a detective. It won't prevent you. Okay. So like that, they have a preventive and detective rules created by Amazon. Okay. So right. Same thing like if you go to users and access, right? Here, see this is a single sign-on URL where you can go and you can just share your account to others, right? Say, okay, you want to use it, you can just create a user and share it with them. Maybe right now, let me do one thing. We will create one user, and with the user, I'll show you how to create a new account. Okay, you see here. So let's say if you want to create a user, we can always go to our users. Okay, let me go to another users and we will create. Okay, wait a minute. So settings, which version of control tower I'm using right now? I'm using 2.1, maybe the release 2.2. So nothing but when you update the release, right, they will add more policies, the cloud trials, everything. Okay, so I yet to update latest version. So even for update, I can click and then click repair. That's enough. Okay, so it will automatically update to newer version. Meantime, it won't impact any of the running accounts. Okay, so online you can do it. So what is account factory? Through account factory, you can create a new account. So if you want to provision a new account, someone asked, right? See here, you no need to go for create a AWS account. You no need to create your AWS ID, credit card details, and then what else? You need to once you create a VPC, okay, create an account. Instead, you need to create a VPC. You need to create subnets. A lot of tasks, right? Those things, everything will be fully automated. If you want to create a new account, see now the setup is these are the things, right? Let me change it. When you go to edit, you can change whether you want allow users to create public subnet or not. If you are not allowing, no one can create a public subnet. Let me just enable, and how many private subnets you want to create within that account, right? Two. So by default, it will create only one VPC. and what is the VPC area range you want to create. You can change whatever okay area range. You can just choose whatever range you want. And as I said, right now control tower are available only for these 4 regions. So if you want a account on, I mean, your account need to create VPC on all the 4 regions, you can always choose save and then just provision new account. So it will automatically take you to the service catalog. So in a few clicks, okay, that's it. This is your service catalog. So when you click, oh, it's taking time, I think. Okay. So just you need to know, click the, see, this is account factory. Okay. Oh, okay. Wait, let me log in as another user. I think I don't have the full access. Let me go here. I think I created one user. Let me check the usernames. So I think it's taking time. Okay. So see when you click it, right? So this is a service catalog. Okay. I mean, the problem was, I used a different user account now. So this is a service catalog. When you click, see how all the accounts are listed. Let me click the master account. I go to console. So just logged into my console, right? Here I will go to a control tower. So if you see the role, right, what I have, I logged in with AWS administrator access. So, right. So here you can go to account factory, provision new account. So here you can just click launch product. That's enough. It will automatically create a new account. Let's say my account 1. Next. So what is the user email? You need to give some email. Okay. Let's say let me put user5 at gmail.com. So let me put the same user5 at gmail.com. So whatever we can give, right? So that's it. Of course, see you have a OU, it lists only one custom, right? It won't, because by default you can create only account only under a custom OU. Put this user5. That's enough. Next. Next. That's it. Launch. So it will create a new account, AWS account for you. So very easy for you, right? You can just in few clicks you can create a new account with your VPC, that too with which create with the SSO, and with all the we are meeting all the AWS compliances. So that is the beauty of the control tower. Okay. I hope you have got the idea, right? What is a control tower? What is a landing zone? So how to create a landing zone inside control tower. This is how you can create your own account. Okay. Of course, right now with limitations, but AWS is still the developing. So I think soon hope we'll get with a lot of features enabled under control tower. So that's it from my session.